Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. I am your host, Saheem the Dream, Swayze, and Never Lazy Crazy. And I might be having a baby.
Hey, it's your boy J McMahon in the building, about to be an uncle.
J Mac Mizzle, what is going down in Chinatown?
Just hanging in there. Just just being the blueprint, the standard. But outside of that, just hanging in there.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, man. So, any news and rumors you want to jump into before we?
Well, the only one I got, I mean, it's been running rampant, and so it even comes up at this point.
All right, hold on a second. All right, news and rumors. Let's go. Right. News and rumors.
So, Saheem, you might be having some more eye candy coming back to the WWE.
Eye candy. Who we got?
So,
who we got?
So the headline on this rumor is another WWE female star set to return imminently. Spoiler. Okay. Former WWE star Eva Marie is set to return to WWE, perhaps as soon as tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. According to a report by Cultaholic.com, she has not been with the company since parting ways in the summer of 2017. PWI Insider further reports that Marie underwent medical testing yesterday in order to be able to enter the Thunderdome, so it will appear that her return is imminent. WWE is advertising a women's battle royal today, so that would be one option, though it's entirely possible that she may be brought back on a non-wrestling capacity. It is believed that Marie and WWE came into an agreement on a contract almost a month ago. So we know that into the battle royal. So yes, it looks like she's on her way back already.
Well, she couldn't. Well, we knew she couldn't wrestle. She was like, and she always made every excuse why she couldn't wrestle. She was always injured or something like that.
Right.
I remember like she was set to like she had a debut, and then like it was so horrible. Like she came in the ring, she said a few words, or she like I think matter of fact her entrance music played. She like danced around, did whatever. She's supposed to fight whoever, and she just like walked out the arena. I was like, what the hell is this?
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, her debut. That's exactly what happened. Second time she did the same thing. Third time she actually fought whoever she was fighting, and then after that, like she had like a little like scuffle. Then she had like a mixed tag. She had like a tag match, and then she disappeared off of TV. And then all of a sudden, like a few months later, she was out of a contract. It was ridiculous.
The only thing I really remember from her, like a couple NXT matches she had where, the fans booed the mess out of her, so she could never, get her footing there. And I believe it was an 8-woman or 10-woman tag at WrestleMania that she had with the Bella Twins, and that's the only thing I really remember her outside of Total Divas.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was horrible. It was really horrible. It was horrible. It was like, why are you here? Like you ain't here to wrestle. She's only there to shake them cakes and leave. That's all she did. She went in there, came in with the 2-piece on, shaking her buns, and she left. That was it, man. That's all she gave us. Gave us a little booty and took it right back. That was it, man. That was it. So, any other news and rumors?
No.
Nothing big. I mean, what do you think about this Lars Sullivan return? What do you think about this?
I was never a big Lars Sullivan. Even when he was in NXT, I was never. You know what? I guess he just didn't have. First of all, he didn't have the look that kind of like resonated with me to be like for me to gravitate to his character.
Right.
I guess he's supposed to be one of those monster characters, but you can have monster characters and the fans still relate to them, a la Big Show, Braun Strowman, so there's ways of having the fans connect with with monstrous superstars, but I just never connected with Lars at all. So it's not it wasn't a big shock to me. I'm glad he's on SmackDown, but
yeah.
But yeah.
So I think I have something I want to talk about. I didn't want to talk about it. But I guess I'll talk about it. So apparently Alberto Del Rio.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was in some. He had some issues. Former WWE champion Alberto Del Rio's trial date set. Former WWE champion Alberto Del Rio was assigned a criminal trial date of January 25th, 2021, following his indictment last week, according to a report on PW Insider. Del Rio was indicted last Thursday by a grand jury in San Antonio, Texas, on charges of aggravated kidnapping. Alberto Del Rio is out here kidnapping women. This guy's wild, B. Del Rio is facing 1 count of aggravated kidnapping and 4 counts of sexual assault. Damn. He could be facing life in prison. What is going on, B? Oh, man.
Paige changed his life forever.
Oh, man. She gave him some of that snapback and he went it back.
Yeah, he didn't know how to act.
Well, Paige turned him out. She got him out here kidnapping. He
got that Paige turn, all right.
Oh, he got that Paige turn a word. She said, "Oh shoot, Paige. Okay, Paige. She out here turning Del Rio out. Del Rio ain't know what to do with it though. Oh right. Man. All right, so let me go on to the victim claim because this is crazy. I read about this before. I seen it. I mean, I wasn't a big Del Rio fan. I kind of was like, whatever. But you know what I'm saying. But I was just going to it. The victim claimed Del Rio slapped her across the head several times and forced her to wear a dress and dance for him when she did not admit to the aforementioned infidelity. He then allegedly told her not to cry because if she did, he threatened to take her son and drop him in the middle of the road somewhere. Wow, this guy's wow. The Fox affiliate in San Antonio also provided further details, noting that Del Rio allegedly tied the woman's hands with boxing straps, put a sock in her mouth, and sexually assaulted her for several hours using various objects. Yo, this dude is whoa. Now I ain't know about all this.
Me neither. This is I started reading some of the article, but I never like went in depth in it. But yeah, Del Rio is he's not who we thought he was.
Yeah, he is super freak, super freak. In the state of Texas, a conviction of aggravated kidnapping is punishable in the first degree, could lead to a jail sentence ranging from 5 to 99 years or life imprisonment and or a fine up to $10,000. However, if the accused is convicted of aggravated kidnapping in the second degree, they could face anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and or fine up to $10,000. Wow. Yikes.
Ouch.
Yikes. The Usos just caught, just regular DUIs. You know what I'm saying? Right. You got was it Jimmy or Jay who fought for his wife? I think a cop went crazy. Jose Vasquez has joined us. Thank you, Jose, for joining us. He says Paige got that golden cat. She turned Del Rio out. Del Rio was going crazy out here, walking the streets with freaking OJ gloves, rope, and a banana, trying to kick.
And a sock, like
in a sock out here kidnapping women. This dude's wild, B. So they said he sexually assaulted her with various objects. This dude, Del Rio, man, he must have been drunk, high. He must have been on something, man. yo, man, oh man, that's crazy, yo.
Right.
It's crazy, man. Del Rio out here bucking, man. And we got the whole, Me Too movement. So, they ain't playing right now.
Oh,
Ain't playing no game.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing about it is, luckily he's not, employed by any company, because then he wouldn't be employed at this point.
Yeah, he definitely wouldn't be. Yeah, WWE would have definitely gave him that big old axe.
Right.
So, oh man, I mean, this is crazy, man. Like, it's crazy because this dude was, coined for stardom. They had him, positioned for stardom. Vince McMahon put that big old rocket on his back. He really had him in the sights of being like this real big superstar. He didn't like the way Vince McMahon was handling his character. He left. I don't know why. Vince, he was one of Vince's boys, and
right, yeah.
He just spiraled down. And I mean, he had potential. Alberto definitely had a lot of potential. I was a fan of his when he first started. I was happy when he won the 40-man battle royal. I was happy, to see a person of ethnicity win. Like, I was really happy for Alberto. I was real happy.
Well, for the record, I still wanted Santino to win that Rumble. Just for the
record.
Yeah,
I wanted. Yeah. Santino's my guy. I wanted him to win. I definitely wanted him to win. Yeah, but I was happy for Alberto. When they started giving that push, I was like, yeah, like they got a Mexican superstar. They pushing him. I was real happy for him. And then it was just like when he left. I mean, like when I didn't like his promo skills didn't really come up to par. I was like, all right, he's all right. They're just gonna, he's still Vince's boy, so they're gonna use him however, whenever. And then he left. I was like, why did you leave? You were handpicked, to be a superstar, to represent, And he left, came back, left again, shouldn't have left. And dang, man, now he's just like, his life is just spiraling down, man.
Right.
He got that Paige Turner. that Paige Turner. She's like, never be sick again. All right.
This is
all right. I got something. All right, you got something else?
Yeah.
All right. So hold on a second, because which sound real juicy. All right. So there's a big feud reportedly planned. WWE reportedly has planned to do Lars Sullivan versus Braun Strowman.
They can't.
Oh boy.
They can't.
Huh?
They can't, because Braun is on Raw and Lars is on SmackDown.
This is what the rumor is. WWE has reportedly discussed plans for a big feud between Lars Sullivan and Braun Strowman. The 2020 WWE draft saw Sullivan get drafted to SmackDown while Strowman was drafted to Raw. However, it was noted on Wrestling Observer Radio that there is a plan to do the Freak versus Monster among men in 1 year or so. So I guess that's supposed to be a build-up. So they're going to build toward that. It will be interesting to see if WWE sticks to the plans, as a lot can happen in 1 year, especially with a talent like Sullivan or Strowman. So I believe Strowman is going to be there. He's going to hang in there. I feel like Lars is probably going to try to work this one out. He has some setbacks because of his anxiety, because a lot of stuff from his past, popped up. A lot of sarcastic comments he made concerning, racial issues, and then him being a star in gay porn. So, I would have anxiety too, but
right.
that's where his anxieties came from. They were saying that he had a lot of anxiety attacks coming on the Raw when he was doing NXT, because it was such a low key show, even though it, was bringing in, hundreds of thousands of viewers. It wasn't as, big as Raw and SmackDown bringing in millions of viewers. So, he had a lot of anxiety attacks. And then when we found out, about his past, it was like, oh, this is why he was having these anxiety attacks, is because, he knew that somebody on the internet, some troll or some hacker, would go dig into his past, try to find out exactly, what he was into, what he did in his past. And they brought it up. And of course, that's what it was.
I should have looked at this earlier. I got a lot of juicy stuff coming up.
All right, so what you got? What you got? What's the first thing you got?
All right, so hold on. Well, first off, let's give a shout out to the Ayatollah of rock and roller. This past Wednesday, he celebrated 30 years in the business,
nice,
which is insane.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the first bit of juicy detail. Paige wants to see AJ Lee back in the ring. So Paige may not be back in the ring as an active competitor right now, but it's safe to say that she's making plenty of noise on social media, from not being happy about WWE's new Twitch policy to calling out trolls who come after her. The former Divas champion is making sure she stays busy in retirement. However, after hinting at the idea of a comeback recently, Paige now has turned her attention towards luring old rival AJ Lee back into the ring. So on Paige's Twitter, she posted a picture of her, and she said, "Would do this again? Lace up those chucks, sis." And that was and she tagged AJ Lee in the post.
Never gonna happen. Never gonna get it. 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 It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. AJ Lee is sticking. AJ Lee is loyal to her man.
Right.
And if CM Punk ain't with it, then it ain't happening. That's a fact. That's a fact. Punk ain't with it. I'm gonna call him the crybaby right now. Punk is I'm gonna call him the crybaby. If the crybaby ain't with it, then it ain't happening. And that's the thing, man. Like, I don't know, man. I think about AJ Lee. I think about CM Punk, because I feel like if AJ Lee was dating someone else, she probably would consider this possibility. Right. She'd be like, you know what? Paige jumps back in the ring. I'll come back for a match or two or something like that. I think she would come back for a match or two. But because she's with Punk, and Punk is, still on his strike or whatever against the WWE because he hates it so much and it's so toxic and all this other crap. You know what I'm saying? Which I understand and I get, because every work environment is not the best, but you were still handed the keys to the kingdom to make change. You still handed the keys to have a voice. And Vince let you go out there and say whatever you wanted to say. And you had the ability to make change, but you didn't, and you dropped the ball, and you went on to a failed UFC career and some other failed ventures. And now you're home trying to figure things out because you're too arrogant to let go of your pride and step back in the ring and do the things that need to be done in order to see the change you want to see. So I kind
of disagree. I know AJ is loyal to Punk. We know that,
right?
But I don't see AJ returning for a long-term or like a career or anything like that, but a one-off WrestleMania moment.
Yeah.
I can see that for a big payday. Obviously she have to obviously she would have to discuss it with Punk, obviously. And I guess, she said sis, so maybe I think it would what would play a factor into it is depending how Paige and AJ's relationship is. Now, if they're real close and they're real good friends, they talk all the time, I think Punk would green light that. But if they don't talk or they don't converse, or they're not friends at all or whatever like that, then Punk would be like, no, that don't make sense. But if they're real good friends, I can see Punk green light and say, you know what, yeah, a one off, go do your thing. Go have your WrestleMania moment, because I never had mine, so you go have yours type. You know what I mean? So
I never had my WrestleMania moment.
But yet you fought the Undertaker, you fought Randy Orton, just because you never main evented. And honestly, a match against Undertaker with the Streak, that's considered a main event match. But teach his own. I guess you had
the longest WWE title reign in the modern era. Like I think his reign was longer than John Cena's, in a modern era. Like, Come on, dude. Like,
but I guess he wants to be the one who closes Mania. Like, he wants to have the last match, which I guess it was a big thing for him. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. It was a big thing, and he had a valid point. You know, he was hot at the time. He should have been the closer. I agree. He should have been the closer. He was absolutely right in the points that he made. He made a lot of valid points, and he was right. But again, Punk, you could have had what you wanted. Again, because you know what, and I think the realization is this, right? We have to. There's our view, and then there's Vince McMahon's view. There's the company's view, right? And then there's the numbers that these performers are producing as far as product sales and ratings. So, you know, if these guys are producing a lot of, if these guys are selling a lot of products, a lot of merchandise, or these guys are boosting rating, that's who they're going to push or put on the screen. Not all the time, though. You know, we know like all the time it doesn't happen. Like you can have a guy who's over and who is who brings in ratings like at one point a Dolph Ziggler, at one point a Zack Ryder, at one point like whomever, right? But a Rusev, right? But it's based. But if Vince doesn't see value in it, then Vince ain't going to push it. And there's times I totally hate Vince's view, and there's times I totally love Vince's view, and he didn't see it in Punk. I seen it in Punk. We all seen it in Punk. It was evident. Punk was the man. It was what it was. You can't take that away from him. He's one of the sole reasons why wrestling is now back on track. He's one of the reasons why. But the man I give a lot of that credit to, and I have to be honest and have to give a lot of that credit to, was Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
It was Daniel, because Daniel stuck it out. Daniel stuck it out. Daniel got hurt. He got fired. He came back. You know what I'm saying? He fought until he had that WrestleMania moment. When he got that WrestleMania moment, even though he still wrestled and he got hurt, he came back. He kept pushing until he couldn't push no more. You know what I'm saying? So he could have been bitter. He could have been mad. But Daniel has done enough in my book to be a legend.
Right.
Hands down. Daniel can, and I think Daniel's career may be over right now, but Daniel was a legend but Daniel did it.
I mean, I'm sure he's going to be super part-time because he was drafted back to SmackDown. So so I don't think that his career is over, but I don't think he's going to, because Bree just had their child, so their second child. So he wants to be home, with Bree and stuff like that. So that's what I believe is going on with him. But at the same time, again, I did watch Total Divas. I'm guilty of it. But there was an episode that I remember where when he did first hurt his neck, and they were saying they wasn't going. No, matter of fact, no. Before, when his neck was hurt, I think before they diagnosed him, to say that no, he hadn't retired, and he was saying like, hey, I think I can come back. I can change my whole style. So there was a scene in Total Divas where he actually changed his whole style. Like he was doing some kind of what was the guy from Tekken that the Jamaican one that used to do all the little flips and
Eddie Gordo.
Eddie, right? So he was doing some kind of Eddie Gordo style, and I was just like,
okay. Capoeira.
Yes, I'm like, yeah, right. So I was just like, okay, so and Bree was like, yo, he's determined to get back in the ring despite of anything. So like you said, I give Daniel a lot of credit because he never gave up. The doctors told him like you'll never wrestle again, but he still trained. He still, kept getting tests, kept never giving up, and he's able to come back. His daughter's able to see him perform, which is one thing he wanted to do, and he's so he stuck it out.
Yeah, he did. You know what I'm saying? And I had to tip my hat to Daniel. Like I'm not to this day, I'm not a big Daniel fan, but I give credit where credit is due. You know what I'm saying? I have to give credit where credit is due, and I have to. Like, I got to.
Right.
So, any more news? I think
I had two more.
Okay.
All right. So, previously undrafted. So So I guess they had like a continuation internet draft last night. So Zelina Vega gets drafted to SmackDown, which we knew was going to happen because Aleister Black was drafted to SmackDown. So we knew this was going to happen. So Zelina decides to put the SmackDown Women's Champ on notice. So on Twitter, she says, "Hey, Bayley, I'm your problem now," with a devil emoji.
Ain't going away. Man, ain't going away. They're gonna feud for a little bit, and and ain't gonna go nowhere.
Yeah, but again, so now Bayley has a lot of people, after her. Bianca Belair definitely says she's, coming for her if she, gets past. We know she has the feud with Sasha. Carmella's on SmackDown, so Carmella's eventually going to try to slide into that, that women's title mix. Natty's on SmackDown, so Natty's going to try, so.
I got a challenge for you. Name 5 people you know that cheer for Zelina Vega. I'll wait.
You said name 5 people that cheer for her?
Name 5 people you know that like Zelina Vega.
Aleister Black, Andrade.
I'm talking about real people, like fans, man. Like people you actually know. Name 5 people you know that really likes Zelina Vega. Name them.
I feel
Come on, Jay. Let's go.
I can't. I mean, I like her, but I do feel that she does need more in-ring time. Yeah. Because again, wrestling is the kind of sport where you have to actually do it in order to get better at it. And you can train and you can have dark matches and stuff like that, but until you're having regular matches and you getting into the flow of things, you're never gonna be great at it. A la what's her name? Lana's one.
Yeah.
And another one is the girl Liv Morgan, that's another one who, again, who needs more in-ring time to, perfect their craft, because again, they're always going to be looked at as jobbers, unless, they get more in-ring time and kind of build and kind of, get that push.
That's true. Jose Vasquez says there's no one who likes Zelina Vega. Exactly, Jose. Exactly.
Zelina is from Queens, so I like her because of that.
She has potential. She has potential. I can't shoot down her potential. She's good on the mic. She's comfortable. Right. So if she works, so you're right. If she works, you're absolutely right. If she works on her in-ring ability and gets better, yeah, absolutely. How good would she become? How good will she become? We don't know. But from the look of things, on average, most women who start out not being athletically sound or having that athletic ability, and they're pushed to the moon, are as good as like the freaking Bella twins. Like, they're decent in the ring, but they just sell their body, sell their look, sell their promos, and they just get off on they get over by their laurels. Like, they're not really talented in the ring. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, she's gonna sell because she's a female. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think she's pretty. I think she's sexy. But I'm just like looking at, what it was? For me that kind of, but she has potential. I give her, I still give her, if she puts in that work and she's better, cool. I'll show her the love, show her the respect. But for right now, it's just like, I think, and I think it was that freaking, the way they try to put together Angel Gaza, Andrade, and Zelina. It should have just been Andrade and Zelina.
Yeah, the Hispanics. That's what Vince always do.
Yeah, it should have stayed that way. I think Angel Gaza should have did his own thing. But when they try to like form them together, it was like it wasn't clicking. Like it was like again. When Zelina was coming out with Andrade, I was cool with that. I was like, cool. I like Andrade. I like Andrade. I think him and Zelina work better together. They should stick with
because they've been working together since NXT, so they know each other. They have that chemistry. And Angel Garza was brought in once Andrade got suspended, but at the same time, like you said, it should have just been them two, and that would have just flowed a whole lot better, because now you're trying to bring in another Latino into the mix, just and trying to force feed this on people, and it just wasn't really meshing. And then at the time, you even brought in Austin Theory, who again, was like, oh my God, like, what are you doing? Like, this fake staple who's not believable,
Right, exactly.
So, but now back to Zelina, like, I mean, I've watched some of her matches, and again, a lot of her matches, she's booked as a jobber to lose to, as recent Asuka, her first two matches. I mean, the first, what's her name? Bianca Belair's first two matches on Raw on the main roster was against Zelina, which was a way to push her. So she hasn't really been booked or put into a situation where she's actually a credible winner. Now, watching her moves and watching how she wrestles, like she does use a lot of Aleister Black moves, and I've seen that. Yeah. So so she is training, which is good, and she's trying. She just hasn't been put in a situation to thrive yet, and hopefully that changes soon.
Right. Jose Vasquez says, he posted a comment. He says, when she fought Asuka on Raw, she had a decent match.
Yeah, even at Clash of Champions, it was a decent match as well. I mean, I don't take nothing away from that match.
Yeah. I just need to. But she definitely is definitely in a place where she needs more development. But I see the potential, and it could work as long as she keeps building. Here. But for those of you who don't know, Zelina Vega and Aleister Black are dating.
No, they're married.
So, I'm sorry, right? They're married, right? So Aleister Black is Zelina Vega's sugar bear. That's a little sugar dugger. That's a sugar dugger, a little baby. All right. What we got? This is what I thought was interesting. Mustafa Ali on WWE pulling his segment from last night's Raw Retribution. WWE draft note. So they're holding off on, sometimes WWE like to milk situations. Like, he was revealed as the leader, so now they're gonna kind of milk it a little bit until they come up with the perfect time to have him drop this promo that explains why he's the leader of Retribution, why he brought Retribution in, and what are their future plans and what they're going to do, how they're going to, annihilate everybody, and the WWE's never going to be the same again, and all this other stuff, right? So this is what it says. There's been a lot of social media talk about how Mustafa Ali did not appear on last night's last night's WWE Draft edition of Raw to address his reveal as a Retribution leader. WWE had announced the segment over the weekend and was still advertising it as late as Monday morning. There's no word yet on why Ali did not appear, but it was noted during a segment with the Hurt Business that Retribution was not at Raw last night. Ali took to Twitter this afternoon and responded to a fan tweet on how his segment was pulled from the show after being advertised. He wrote, "Do you not like it when something is promised and then taken away with no explanation? Funny feeling, isn't it?" Ali made another tweet today about how fans will have to wait to hear his truth. "I waited years to speak my truth. Now you are going to wait to hear it," he wrote. "Until then, a reminder, #Retribution."
Me personally, I honestly feel like, yes, they was advertising it, so everyone was looking forward to it, but I do think it was a good idea to pull the segment, and the reason I say that is because, one, you have the season premiere next week, so you're gonna have all of your set, pieces in place of your roster, so therefore, you'll have no distraction, because obviously last night was the draft. That was the whole sole purpose of Raw. even though they did have matches, but nobody really paid attention to the matches because they want to know who's going to get drafted to which show. So I feel like with everything that was going on, to have a retribution segment would have been like it would have been overshadowed, to be honest. So I think it'll be more impactful that, you have it where there's nothing else going on, and, you can focus and have a decent segment. So, I mean, I don't like the fact that it was advertised and they pulled it last minute, but I do think that it should be on next week's show.
Yeah, I was definitely open to hear what Ali had to say as to why he's a leader. I mean, I think it's quite evident. We know, he's going to talk about the whole Kofi Mania thing probably, and, drop that up, bring that up, and, he's going to bring that up and then talk about how he was forgotten and not used and all this other stuff, and how he's going to now make his mark and make the changes that need to be made and all this other stuff. So we know all the hoopla that's going to come with the speech. It's just how he's going to cut the promo. I think he's going to do a good job at cutting the promo. I think Ali is going to try his best to pull this off as much as possible. But Ali, I'll tell you this, even though I'm not really I was like, I wish there was a different leader of Retribution. This is definitely a grand opportunity for Ali to really aim for the stars. This is a grand opportunity for him to, even though, because he's the front man, right? So if all else fails, when he breaks up from the group, he'll be an individual star, which will more than likely probably give him a push because, not only does he have the support of the Retribution behind him, but he will have more support of the fans behind him because they see the support of Retribution behind him. So I think there's an opportunity for him to be a star. You know what I'm saying? He can really shoot for the moon for this. Even though I'm not a fan of him being the leader of Retribution, I want to see how this turns out. You know what I mean? I'm not really really too much on board for it, but if he can change my mind, then Ali, let's see you do it.
I agree.
This is what I thought was very interesting. Kevin Nash says it would be a big game changer if two specific WWE stars showed up in AEW. Let me see if I can just get to what he said. Just as the right gimmick can take a wrestler to the next level, the right theme music can also add a new element to a talent. Kevin Nash had a memorable theme song throughout his career, including the sound of an 18-wheeler while performing as Diesel. Nash talked about the importance of a wrestler's theme and if it was something he would fight for when he joined the #show. Yeah, because Kevin Nash says, yes, to me, because to me, when you have a match, the first thing that happens that gets a response is your theme music. So they hear that first note, blah, 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 blah. All right, so I'm gonna try to skip to what he said. Music, blah, blah, blah. Talk about the pop, talk about Stone Cold's pop. Da, 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 da. Let me see if I can get to it. Damn, this is long as hell. No, this interview is hella long, yo, and it's like just all it's just Here we go. This is what he said. This is like all the way at the end of this damn thing. But let me just get to it. He says, So let me just read this small part, because it won't sound like it's all over the place. He says Roman has a little bit of whatever number one, but he says that Roman has a little bit of that like number one guy kind of feel, like John Cena, because he said there'll never be another John Cena, like there'll be another guy. He said there are times where I've seen pictures. I'll go through Twitter and I'll say, "Is that me?" I'm like, "No, that's Roman," because when I was Diesel, there's a little bit. The tattoos, of course, but now I'm changing. But I thought we both kind of had a similar look, and I said, "Geez, it's almost like the kiss of doom, too." But I think now he's situated where he needs to be. Since Nash compared himself to Roman and Nash was aligned with Scott Hall throughout much of his career, then who would he compare Hall to? And also, could they have the same impact as the Outsiders did when they popped up in WCW? He says, "I don't know. I think if you could get Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns to go over to AEW together, I think that would be a big game changer," said Nash. Yeah, I think that would be a big game changer.
Yeah.
I think the biggest game changer, but again, we all know the biggest game changer that would just set the wrestling world on its freaking heels is CM Punk going to AEW. That's it.
Right.
You can have John Cena, you can have whoever you want come back to WWE. But if CM Punk goes to AEW, game over.
Right.
Game over. Right? They're gonna shoot. They're gonna do 2 million. And whatever CM Punk asked Kamir Khan? He asked Khan for wasn't an outrageous number, because the fact of the matter is when CM Punk shows up, they're gonna beat Raw in ratings. They're gonna annihilate NXT in ratings, and if they decide to do Monday night, they're gonna damn near annihilate NXT, because they have a decent roster. I wouldn't say a great roster. They have a decent roster, and they're tailor making the show to really fit what the fans want. So, but CM Punk overall, if Roman Reigns showed up on AEW, it would be a game changer, because Roman Reigns was deemed as, the guy, and now he goes over to AEW. It's like, whoa, same thing with with Drew. If Drew goes over there, I think it'll be big. I think it'd be big now that he's a world champion. I think it'd be big now, but Drew's all right. I think if Roman goes over there, that's when it kind of be like, whoa, like Roman went over to AEW, like, oh
Right.
shoot, But again, if CM Punk shows up on AEW, game over. Yeah, it's game over. Any more news?
Yes, I have one more little bit of tea, and this one may interest you.
Is it Stinger? You got a Stinger?
A Stinger.
Stinger.
So the title for this one is, well, so basically Wade Barrett is confident he'd embarrass Drew McIntyre in a future match. So while Stu Bennett, aka Wade Barrett, may be enjoying his time as a commentator for NXT, many of us have been left to wonder whether or not he contemplates stepping back into the ring. It's been a few years now since he put on a pair of boots, and while he didn't really make any kind of official retirement, some are concerned that he may never compete in an actual match again. According to the man himself, though, he'd be more than willing to come back one day and put a beating on an old friend, Drew McIntyre. So Barrett also put on his Twitter, I used to bully him, kick the hell out of him, pour cans of beer over him. He'd be in a corner crying, begging for mercy. As a man, he knows I can destroy him anytime. He knows I can batter him. When Stu is ready, he's going to embarrass Drew McIntyre.
Okay, let's. Okay, all right. I gotta say this. I don't want that. I don't want it. I'm gonna tell you why I don't want it.
Too cliche?
Huh? Not the cliche. Not the cliche. I don't want it because Drew didn't reach where Wade didn't reach where Drew is. Even though Drew was Wade didn't reach where Drew is. Even though Wade is supposed to be where Drew is.
Right.
And he was supposed to get that. That was supposed to happen. And you had Super Cena screwing things up behind the scenes and not allowing, certain young talent to get their due and not creating, heels, formidable heels to have entertaining feuds with. So I don't want that. See, I would have wanted, what made a CM Punk versus a Stone Cold Steve Austin entertaining was CM Punk reached to a place where Austin was.
Right.
So you would have met. So now your mind is like, how would the CM Punk of that era fit against an Austin in his prime, in his era? And even though we're not going to see that because there's two different eras, but we would want to see a match against them because that'll be the colliding of two eras. Same thing with Hogan and The Rock. The Rock was already Rock had been world champion. Hogan had been world champion. So now when they came together and clashed, these are two accomplished world champions with star power colliding against each other. Drew McIntyre, and I hate to say this because I love Wade Barrett. I like Wade Barrett more than I like Drew, but this is the fact. This is the truth. Drew McIntyre right now has star power. Mm-hmm. Wade Barrett has star power, but Wade Barrett has not reached his potential of star power because he does not have or has not had a world championship reign, in his catalog of championship accomplishments. So to see that match would just be for kicks. It's like, oh, we're going to see Wade Barrett versus Drew McIntyre. It's like, no, Wade, that's not what we want to hear. What we want to hear is you lacing up your boots and giving yourself another WWE run to go after that title. That's what I want to see. I want to see Wade Barrett with the belt. I don't want to see because again, and that's the thing, because Wade Barrett has the potential to be like, if Wade Barrett, like if I had a choice to choose Wade or Drew, I'll choose Wade all the time. Like Wade 100%. You know what I'm saying? Like a Wade 100%. Wade has the mic skills. Wade has the in-ring ability. He has the look. He has the feel of a champion. He has it. He already had it. And I don't want to see Drew McIntyre fight Wade Barrett in just some daggone exhibition match. I don't care for that. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, and it's like, because again, Drew is on another level now. And I'm not saying that it wouldn't be a good match, and I'm saying it'd be bad, but it'd just be like, see, like a Finn, see, I would even say, like, if Finn Balor said, if Finn Balor made this comment, I'd be like, all right, cool, because Finn Balor was the first Universal Champion. He made history, even though he has not gotten another reign, but he's in the history books. Even though that reign lasted one day, but that's history. He's the first Universal Champion. No one could ever take that away from him, even though he deserves another title reign. But again, that'll be cool because he was at the mountaintop, and he will always be there in history books.
Right. But also, you can also look at them both as being, NXT champions. With Finn being timing also current, so I guess you can throw that into the mix too with your argument.
Yeah. Right, you can throw it in the mix, but NXT champion is a great accomplishment. Like, no, it is. I'm not trying to like crap all over it, but I'm saying, but Jay, come on, man. Come on. Let's be real. NXT, having an NXT title is a great accomplishment, but the NXT title is equivalent to an Intercontinental title.
I think about to say European. I'm about to say that's disrespectful.
Oh hell no. Nah, because too many great wrestlers touch that heavyweight title. You have Samoa Joe, you got Shinsuke Nakamura, you got Finn Balor, you got Adam Cole, you got Seth Rollins, you got who else? Had to go.
Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens.
Right, Kevin Owens, Gargano,
Ciampa. Keith Lee as of the latest.
Keith Lee's the latest, right? Because I think eventually Keith Lee is going to be like world champion. Because I feel like Keith Lee is going to hold it together to be there to reach that place, reach that pinnacle. Right. But again, these are people who want to becoming like Seth Rollins, Universal World Champion. Kevin Owens, Universal Champion. Drew McIntyre, WWE Champion. Who else? Finn Balor, Universal Champion, first Universal Champion. You know what I'm saying? So you have like, you got like 4 or 5 world champions that came from NXT, that came from holding the NXT championship. So it's a great belt, but it's just that when I just think about, trying to compare it to, it's like,
now you can compare the NXT championship to like the World Heavyweight Championship. Absolutely not. But it's the top tier for that brand.
It is, and it's still developmental gold. Like Finn had.
At this point, I wouldn't even compare the AEW belt to the Universal or the Heavyweight Championship now, even though they're big belt, but it doesn't have any prestige yet, as of yet.
If I've had the opportunity to hold a belt, and you said, all right, what belt do you want to hold? The Impact Championship, AEW Championship, or NXT title? I say NXT.
Okay.
I'll say NXT. I say NXT because, again, the people I named went on to hold better gold. So, like, that belt is to prime you to put you at the, to try to see what you look like at the top. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, I would even take the Intercontinental title over AEW or Impact title belt. Like, take it over.
Only the white one, not this monstrosity they have now.
I happen to like this monstrosity. I happen to enjoy this. I think this is a great belt. I enjoy it. I mean, but I get it. You don't like it. You hate it. But nonetheless, the Intercontinental belt, I will put the Intercontinental belt over the AEW and Impact World Championship any day. I'll put the NXT title over the AEW and Impact World Championship any day. I'll choose. Those are the belts I will put over. Like, if I couldn't get the World or the Universal, I'll choose those 2 titles over AEW and Impact. You know what I'm saying? Because the legacy that's behind that belt. Behind the belt. You know what I'm saying? It's like AEW, they're still building their legacy. Impact Championship, like, you had legends that held the belt, but it was just like, but it's not the same as, it's like, these are people, it's almost like, it's like when you had the legends who wrestled, they sort of like, I guess, go in retirement, and then they start wrestling in like gyms and stadiums because they don't get booked for main shows. So they get like these titles from these startup promotions, like that nobody ever heard of. That's how Impact still feels. That's how AEW is. They're still trying to build their legacy. So we got to see how it goes. But again, I would even choose a WCW title over Impact or freaking AEW Championship. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because, again, it's still building a legacy. Even though Impact has tried to build great champions, I mean, I just feel like AEW, I feel like TNA already tarnished their championship with the freaking the girl with Tessa Blanchard. Like, they tainted that already. But that's tainted goods. But, and Moose, smart enough. Smart man Moose is. He's a smart guy, because I don't know if you know about this, but when Tessa Blanchard was the Impact champion, Moose brought back the old TNA championship belt, the belt that they had before they had this new belt, and he made the strap white. The belt was dope. The belt was crazy. I ain't gonna front. The belt is fire. You got to check it out. Whenever you get the chance, check out that Moose. Check out the Moose TNA champion, and he self-proclaimed himself the TNA World Champion.
Okay.
And he wrestles, he defends the belt and everything. I don't know if he's still defending the belt or whatever, but yeah, he self-proclaimed himself the TNA World Champion. But again, like, he's a smart guy, because he's like, I ain't gonna wear that belt, but I'll wear this belt right here. Give me this right here, because Tessa held that belt. So I ain't trying to hold a belt that a female, and beat a dude over for. Give me this belt right here. You know what I'm saying? And he came out, and he's coming out with that. So. But that's the thing, man. So with Wade Barrett, trying to fight Drew McIntyre, it's like, bro, like Drew, I want to see you. Wade, I want to see you give it a go one more time, man. And I think, Wade, I guess Wade is just doing that to kind of like pump up his return. But I feel like, and I think Wade wants to return. But I remember Wade had an interview, and he even spoke about, he said, if they come to me with the right negotiations, then yeah. And I feel like man.
Yeah, because he definitely emphasized the fact that he never retired. So
Right. My honest opinion is, and this is what I feel, and this is what I believe. If they're gonna take a superstar right now, like what they're trying to do with Lars Sullivan, they're gonna take a superstar and put a rocket on their back and say, all right, we're gonna put you in the ring, we're gonna have you work some shows, do some promos, but our plan is to put a world title on you soon. They should do it for Wade. It will be perfect. It will work out. It will work out well. He has a history. He's great on the mic. It'll work out well. Just do it. It's like with Wade, just do it. Push him there. It's gonna work. Let that ride. Like put the title on him. Let him ride. You know. And I would love to see Drew McIntyre have a feud with Wade Barrett. That'd be dope. But I want Wade to have a belt. I want Wade to have a title. I want Wade to accomplish things. I want to see Wade be accomplished. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I really want to see. But him just going there just to do a one-off and then disappear into the smoke or disappear and go back to commentary. Nah, B. Nah, B. Ain't trying to have that. Any more news?
No.
All right. So let's get into this draft. Let's get into this WWE Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw. All right. So I seen Raw.
Okay.
To me, the most exciting part about Raw that I really enjoyed, I thought it was very interesting. All right. So
for the first time in months.
Yeah. So this whole Ricochet trying to squash this beef with the Hurt Business. He's like, I'm tired of being beat up by you guys. I'm tired. He's like, no more. You know what I'm saying? Like he went copping pleas, talking about we're gonna have one more match and we're gonna squash this whole thing because I'm tired of you guys, beating the hell out of me every night. I thought it was funny. And then he goes in, he fights a match, fights his match against Cedric Alexander. MVP throws a chair in the ring to give Cedric Alexander the advantage. Ricochet pulls an Eddie Guerrero.
Right.
and he wins. He wins the match. I thought that was pretty cool.
Now watching that match, were you now on the edge of your seat because you kind of for me, I was on the edge of my seat because I'm like, wow, I can see Ricochet winning this match and actually going to do other things because he's not going to have any with him. So maybe he can try to shine and potentially, well, unless they take the belt from Bobby Lashley, but maybe European champion or, doing something decent with that. But then I said, you know what? The thought of him joining the Hurt Business would be cool too. So I was on the edge of my seat just on the fact of it could. I saw both ways playing out. Selfishly, I kind of wanted him to join the Hurt Business, but then I'm like, he really fit, so. He doesn't like he can have an attitude. So yeah.
Yeah. I thought he was going to lose. I was hoping he lost so that he can join. But then it's like, and I was like, all right, he's going to join and he's probably going to be divisive and cause some kind of what's it called?
Tension.
Rebellion. Yeah. What's the word? Not rebellion. Jesus Christ. It's the word. Anyway, I lost it. Not rebellion.
Defiant.
Not defiant. I think it starts with. Anyway, forget it. The word will come to me.
Right.
But yeah, I thought that he was going to cause some kind of like some kind of divisiveness between the group where he breaks them all up and breaks everybody up and starts breaking them down one by one. But it would have been cool just to have Ricochet in the Hurt Business. It would have been cool just to have Apollo Crews and Ricochet just all join, and that'd just be like, like let's do it. Like let's take over, man. Like let's do it. Like just do it. let Bobby, push Bobby to the moon. Let Bobby get his world title. It'll be dope. Like, we have like our black NWO. That'd be crazy, almost like
And
it'd be dope.
And with the fact of I thought it would make sense because the Hurt Business as of right now have 4 members. Retribution has 800. So they outnumber. So.
Right.
800 plus, right? Because every week they get 20 new members. So.
Right.
So
random guys off the street. You want to be part of Retribution? All right, come on.
Yeah, here's some a hoodie and a face mask, and some gloves. Go have fun.
Right. Here you go. He said, "How much you get paid? We don't pay people. We pay them in ham sandwiches."
And TV, cool. I'm down. So.
Right. We pay you in bubble gum. All right, cool.
Right, you can eat from catering. How about that? You get a free meal.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, I think it would have been dope to have Apollo Crews and Ricochet join. I think one of the high points was I like the match between New Day and Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler was pretty dope.
Yeah, it was. And it was funny how New Day and Street Profits was backstage, and they was like, "What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?" So he was like, "Why don't you guys just switch titles?" And it was like, "Oh, okay." That was funny. So New Day, they went from the SmackDown Tag Team Champions to the Raw Tag Team Champions in seconds, and vice versa.
Yeah, that was pretty dope. Actually, I seen online that they were named they're the third Triple Crown. Let me see. They said what they call? They said the Street Profits are now considered the. Let me see. Street Profits become second WWE Triple Crown Tag Champs in history. The second, just like that. Bam, just like that.
I'm trying to see who will be the first because I know they had the NXT tag titles, the Raw and the SmackDown tag titles. The New Day never had the NXT tag titles. The Viking Raiders only had the Raw tag titles.
Okay, so here we go.
Yeah.
I knew who it was, but I was like, let me just make sure. But the first ever Triple Crown tag champs were the Revival, who are known as AEW Tag Team Champs FTR. Yeah, because I remember they were the first ones to.
I forgot about them. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, because they went back and forth from Raw and SmackDown. They definitely did have tag belts on both brands. So yeah, that's right.
Which is interesting. So, I mean, but would they be the first?
Yeah, I don't think of it. I know anybody. Like I said, American Alpha only had the SmackDown tag titles. Vikings only had the Raw tag titles.
Right.
And as far as the Ascension didn't have any tag titles. On the roster, I should say. NXT they did. Finn Balor and Samoa Joe, they weren't a real tag team on the main roster. So yeah, that it's only 2, which is crazy. Because there was some that had only one brand, but it was as we see, it's only 2 teams that had both brands.
How could they be considered Triple Crown? Because Triple Crown would mean that you would have to have won 3 titles.
They did.
Who? The Street Profits?
Yeah.
What 3 titles?
Because they had
NXT.
Right, yep. NXT tag titles, yeah.
Yep, that's true. Triple Crown. Triple Crown getting down. Yeah, because I know New Day with a Triple Crown because they won the black and copper
tag title, right.
Right. And then from the copper, then they won the Raw, and then they won the SmackDown. So that's Triple Crown. I get that. Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. Yep. Makes sense. Yep. Got it. And then the Revival won the NXT, Raw, and SmackDown. Yep. And I remember when they won I remember when they became Triple Crown because when they won the first belts they won were the Raw, and then they won the SmackDown. When they won the SmackDown, I was like, they're Triple Crown. I was like, oh shoot, they made them Triple Crown, and they still left. But nonetheless, but I get it. They were going to wear clown suits, so I would have left it.
Right? Yeah, that was weird. I don't know.
The Fiend.
That was
this is the thing. Really, like, this was like the highlight of the night. The Fiend is on Raw.
yes.
I was like, that's that's interesting.
Now, my question to you is the Fiend, and obviously we knew Alexa Bliss was going to get drafted to Raw as well, so that was a no-brainer. But was that more shocking than Elias coming back to attack Jeff Hardy for hitting him with the car months ago?
No, that wasn't. I didn't care.
Okay.
I was like, oh, Elias is back? Okay, all right. Moving on. Moving on. I was like, okay. I was like, yeah, whatever. I was like, okay, Elias is back. He's going to come back. He's not going to do anything. It's like,
yeah, probably not.
He's going to do it, do his little shtick with the guitar and all this other stuff.
I'm just mad Sheamus got drafted to Raw. He's one of the ones who should have stayed on SmackDown, but
yeah, it's like, why?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Sheamus. I don't know.
Yeah, never been a fan. He's not convincing. He's good on the mic, but he's funny at times. But it's just like whatever,
right?
Whatever. Sheamus, get out. It's like beat it. Like, why are you like beat it? Like, get out of here, man. Sheamus is like whatever. And
right.
They're gonna do. They're gonna stick him in a feud with Drew McIntyre somehow. Somehow they're gonna have him and Drew. Which I think, but I'm gonna be honest, I think it'll be pretty cool to watch him kind of mix it up with Drew. So I thought it'll be, the Irishman versus, the Scottishman, Yeah, which would be pretty cool, I think it'll be pretty cool to watch that happen.
The original Bro is also on Raw.
Yeah. I thought so. Sami Zayn, he got drafted to SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to see, but I don't know what they're gonna do. But I wanted to see Matt Riddle with the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, I did too.
I wanted to see him, because there's a lot of great guys they can put that belt on, But it's so interesting how they put it on just some of these other guys. They need to make more Mr. Perfects and Ravishing and Rick Rudes. You know what I'm saying? But Matt Riddle having that belt would have been dope. Bobby Roode holding that belt longer would have been dope. I think I'm kind of at a point where I want to see Dolph Ziggler probably get it again.
And so I have a little thing.
Okay.
If I see Jeff Hardy and AJ Styles in one more triple threat match, I'm sick of it. I mean, yeah, I get it's supposed to be Seth Rollins, farewell match. I get it. I'd rather AJ Styles and Jeff Hardy, or Jeff Hardy and Seth Rollins 1-on-1.
Yeah,
I did not want to see that triple threat match. And then when AJ said what he said to Seth, like, "Well, you was never the Monday Night Messiah," and Seth Rollins started walking back, I'm like, triple threat match. Here we go.
Yeah, here we go again. Like, yeah,
like you just with Seth Rollins.
Yeah, it's not. I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to see Jeff Hardy in another match. I'm over Jeff. Jeff.
I need to go back and watch it because it sounded like he I don't know, did he have the regular Hardy Boys interest, or did he change his theme music? Because I know there was talks of him changing it.
You said what?
I said, did he have his regular theme music, or did he change it?
You say?
Did he come out to the regular Hardy Boys theme music, or did he change it already? I know there was talks of him changing it. I was on a phone last night, so I didn't hear. I saw him coming out, but I didn't really pay attention to his theme. So I need to go back and listen to it.
Yeah, because he's supposed to change it, right? No, I didn't listen to it. I didn't listen to it either.
Yeah, I know he said. I
gotta listen to it.
I know he said he was waiting for live fans to officially bring it back, but I guess him going to Raw could be a new start for a reason to bring it back. But I'm gonna go back and listen to it today and see.
Yeah. I mean, when he does change it, I don't care. Yeah, man. I don't know why people, like when I remember we had Big Baby on, and he said he was a fan of Famous. I wanted him to tell me why he was a fan. Like when some people are certain fan of certain people, I just want to know why, because so I can see it from their perspective. Like, what is it that captured like, what is it about them that captured, captured them? But I mean, Jeff Hardy. He has no like the charismatic enigma. Like anybody can put paint on and run around and do pelvic thrusts and throw paint in the air and just throw himself off a ladder and just be like, "Oh, I'm charismatic." Like, you know what I'm saying? Sabu did that all the time. Sabu ain't even talk, and Sabu had more charisma than freaking Jeff Hardy.
But it's funny because I'm watching a match. Well, when he first, I don't know if he was nervous, but when he was like, you know what? Seth and AJ, I'll accept the match. I want you both in a triple threat tag match tonight. And I'm like, wait, triple threat tag match? What the hell is he talking about? I'm like, you just added tag and it's just a triple threat match, Jeff. But
right, like Jeff, are you on the wagon again? Are you back on the wagon? Get off the wagon, Jeff. You back on the wagon, Jeff. Like Jeff, it's triple threat match. He probably was. It probably was. But Jeff Hardy's just like, I think Jeff Hardy was pushed because Vince liked him, and that was it. And he had fans. He had young fans. A lot of young fans liked him. He was and he looked young. He had a young look, so it made sense why kids loved him. And then younger generation, because I know there's people who are younger who are in their 20s now that I've talked to about wrestling. They were fans of Jeff Hardy. So I was like, oh, okay, face paint, jumps off ladders, does a lot of daring things. He's young looking, makes sense, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, when they get older and they kind of hear him on the mic, they be like, whoa, what was I thinking? But I don't know, yeah. It was the same thing with me with Flair. Like I didn't like Flair when I was young. He was this old flabby dude who was winning matches for some reason. And then when I got older and I started watching his promos and I started understanding the entertainment value, like what makes everything entertainment from promos to in-ring ability, I was like, oh, this guy was just amazing at cutting promos. Like this dude was like a 10 plus. The funniest dude ever, man. But Jeff Hardy, whatever, man. I would rather see. Jeff Hardy. I didn't care when they drafted him. I was like, he's still here. Why is he here? Yeah. AJ Styles is on Raw, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I was excited about the Fiend. So I thought you was gonna ask me about the Fiend. I thought you was gonna ask me about the Fiend possibly. And I just thought about this. I think the Fiend is going to beat Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, I mean, and I can see the reason behind that because they I guess they want him with the title, and they on a SmackDown that title is locked down in the storyline with Roman. It's going to be locked down for a while. Where with Drew is the champion on Raw, and then you think about it since Mania, the Universal title has changed hands three times, where the heavyweight championship has changed hands 0 times. So. Yeah. I do feel that it does need a new look. I do feel that we need something different for a little bit. So if Randy doesn't win at Hell in a Cell, which I hope he does, because the third time will be a charm. Right. I definitely would like to see the Fiend end up taking the belt or somebody at some point, because as we said numerous times on the show, Drew's title reign has become extremely stale.
Extremely. I want to see, but yeah, I'm 100% with you on Randy. I want to see Randy with the belt. If there's anybody I want, I got my my dream came true with Finn. I want to see Randy with this belt. He's somebody else. I want to see him with this belt. I want to see Randy with the belt. I definitely want to see Randy with the belt. Have him hold on for a little bit. I think Randy should get this belt. I think Randy needs to get the belt. They need something. Because he's going to deliver. He's going to get that belt. He's going to cut those dope promos. Whoever he feuds with, he's going to chew the hell out of him. He's going to chew him up on the mic. He gonna chew him up in the ring, and that's what's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Randy gonna do his thing. So, but I definitely want to see Randy. I'm 100% with you. But I agree. If they don't, if it don't go to Randy, it's going to go to the Fiend. They're going to do something with the Fiend. They're going to do something with the Fiend. Yeah. I totally agree with you. Yeah. And then if Randy gets the belt, he'll be a 14-time champion. He'll be tying with Triple H. The game.
Still not nowhere near our truth though.
ain't nobody breaking his record. Where he had the belt like Archer had the belt like 99 times already. Shoot.
Yeah.
Matter of fact,
49-time 24/7 champ.
Is he really that close?
No, he's at 49. Yeah.
Man, all right, hold on a second. I got to. Did you just check? You just checked just now?
No, they said it.
Oh, they said it 49 times?
Mm-hmm.
God. Wow, man. Wow. 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 Ridiculous. I don't know, man. I don't know. Anything else on Raw though? Jay?
Yeah.
Anything else on Raw?
Let's see. Anything else?
I mean, everything was pretty much right. You know, them getting everything in order for the most part.
Yeah, and with Lana getting a heavyweight championship match, her and Natty breaking up.
Lana winning the Battle Royal.
Right. Because we thought it was the Lana punishment based off of Vince punishing her for Rusev, but she's getting a title match, which we know she's not gonna win. But
yeah.
I mean, outside of that, we touched base on a Ricochet. We touched base on Elias coming back, the New Day's match.
What else?
I think that was pretty much everything that of prestige that really made sense, or even anything that mattered. Yeah. That's
pretty much it. Yeah. I'm just interested to see, the whole the Fiend thing. To me that was like it was certain. Yeah, we touched on all the high points. Definitely all the high points. Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre, beating each other up all over the place.
Right. So, how many times do you think Ricochet is going to team with the New Day?
How many times?
Yeah.
Man, I give it like 3 months, man. They'll be having triple threat match. I'm sorry, the 3-on-3 tag, 3-on-3 tag.
Right.
1-on-1 Kofi versus MVP, or Kofi versus Bobby Lashley, Xavier Woods versus Drew and Cedric Alexander, or freaking Shelton Benjamin. Yeah, they're gonna do that, man. You know what? That's funny you brought that up, but that's true. I thought about that. I could see, what they're gonna probably do? They're gonna have the New Day. No, because the New Day's on Raw. Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. And Apollo Crews. Yeah.
Apollo Crews is on SmackDown now.
Oh, Apollo Crews right. He's on SmackDown. Right.
Yeah. Right. So Ricochet will probably be teaming up with the New Day numerous times because. Yeah. I would say he would have a United States Championship run, but they would have to somehow get it off of Bobby Lashley for him to get it, because if he beats Bobby Lashley, then you kind of diminish Bobby Lashley as this monster. So,
yeah, I think what they're doing with Lashley is fine. I don't think they're going to take it off Bobby anytime soon. Bobby's going to keep it for a minute because Bobby didn't defend his belt at Clash. Did he defend his belt at Clash of Champions? Oh, he did against Apollo Crews. Yeah. And then after that, he hasn't had a title defense since.
Nope. Did he even have a match? No, he did have a match. Did following that on? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, following that on. Yeah. So I think what they're gonna do, they're gonna play. They're gonna milk him just having the belt for a little bit, milk it, and stretch it out. Not give him too many title defenses because there's nobody he can really defend it against. I mean, well, now that they mix up the roster, he'll probably go against Sheamus. He'll probably go against Jeff Hardy or whatever.
Yeah. Braun probably gonna go after the heavyweight title, so we could be looking at a Braun Drew feud.
Braun is on Raw. They're supposed to have a Braun versus Roman match
on SmackDown, right? So we clearly know that Roman's gonna win that match. So
right. Which I thought about as like, okay, so how is this going to make Braun Strowman still look strong? Oh, because his character is supposed to be a lot more.
I don't. Well, maybe he needs to grow his hair back.
Say it again. Your feed was cutting up. What'd you say?
No, I said maybe he needs to grow his hair back. Maybe that could be the problem. He became bald. He hasn't been so lucky. Let's just say.
Yeah, he hasn't been so lucky. That's true. All right, man. Let's wrap this up, man. We went 1:30, went almost 1:30. Almost I'm sorry, an hour and 30 minutes. Thank you guys for joining us for another edition of Wrestling Talks. I am your host, Saheem the Dream. We will be back with you, and I'm here with my co-host, Jay McMahon. We will be back with you again for another edition of Wrestling Talks sometime this week. We will set up the notifications in the group chat rooms. In the group chats, or you can check with us on Facebook and on our group page. Hit us up, give us a like, give us a thumbs up on the video, drop some comments below. What do you think about some of the topics we discussed concerning news and rumors? Also, what did you think about the Raw and SmackDown draft? Give us your opinions, give us your views in the comment section below on the live feed. If you're catching us on YouTube, give us a like, give us a subscribe to our channel, shout us out, hit us up so we can hear from you, because this show is based on hearing from the wrestling fans in the universe. We want to know what your thoughts are on SmackDown and Raw and NXT and anything WWE related. So again, signing off, I am your host, Saheem the Dream.
With your boy, J McMahon.
Yes. And we will see you guys later. Deuces.